So Iloilo, it's loosely based or somehow based on your actual childhood experience with a Filipina helper from Iloilo named Terry. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I had a Filipino helper, working in my household, and she was with us for 8 years. She came when I was 4, she left when I was 12. And her name is Teresa, we call her Auntie Terry. And yes, that's where the title comes from, because she comes from Iloilo. That's actually one of the few things that I really remember about her.
But what was Auntie Terry like as a helper, and how come until now you remembered her, and somehow, though it's not really the actual story that you had before, and yet you made a film out of it?
It's very interesting because I think for a long time, I think kids in Singapore, you spend most of your life, growing up, becoming an adult. When you're young, you're chasing grades, chasing papers, and then later on, you're chasing money, chasing a career, and your childhood is sort of like swept underneath the carpet. When I wanted to make my first, feature-length film, a lot of these childhood memories came flooding back into my head, and I remember a lot of events, moments, people that surrounded me as I was growing up. It really started with an emotion, really. I remember I was 12 and I was at the airport, and she was going to return to the Philippines. I wasn't a very, very small kid. I was 12, I was quite a big kid, and I remember I just cried and cried and cried, and it was really painful. And it was just that emotion that I took with me, and I thought, this is very interesting, this is very complex, this relationship. And I thought there might be a film in there, and I started on a journey to write the script. 3 years later, I have a film.
Every comics get their own angle of approach. Mine has always been just, make it hilarious and truthful, but respectful, empowering. I don't want people going away from any of my shows
Angry.
saying I feel like I was so ashamed to be Filipino, or like,
so
oh my God, I
offended.
can't believe I watched this show. Nah, I want you to go away, and feeling a little more, happy with our situation, and it's not that bad.
And I like that you said that I think everything has humor.
Yes.
And you always find humor in
Always have to
everything.
find humor in everything, because that's part of the Pinoy spirit. Really, it is. The hardest of times, you have to remember that, if it's the last thing that ever gets ripped from you is your ability to laugh.